Greetings. Welcome to Dave's Man Cave. Dave's Watch Review Emporium. Dave's whatever the hell he wants to talk about today. I want to bitch about Instagram and Facebook, but I'm not gonna. I will probably delete all my multi or social media presence other than this channel because it's the only thing that's even halfway worthwhile, and even that some days I question it. But I think I'm going socially off the grid other than this channel. We'll see. Anyway, be that as it may, we are here to talk about a new Seiko, and it's one I don't see reviewed a lot. And it's one I think should be reviewed more often because I think it's a really cool watch. It falls into the budget line from a very reputable Japanese brand, Seiko. It's got a really cool dial. It's got really cool specs for the price. And I think it's freaking cool as shit. So, quick watch check. What are we wearing today? Well, today I'm wearing my Bulova Lunar Pilot. So that has the precisionist movement. It's super crazy accurate. It's 266 or whatever, 262 kilohertz quartz movement. It is crazy accurate, a couple seconds a month. And it's more accurate than a Rolex. And I did put it on this NATO strap, which I think looks the shiz. That is a really cool, it's one of the Amazon brand ones, but it's got a really cool red, black with a little tan stripe. I think that looks absolutely killer. That's our watch check. That's what we're wearing today. We'll set that off to the side. So what are we going to talk about? This is a model out of their Essentials collection, which is their basic collection. But the specs are not as basic as that description or the price of which I paid $195 for. MSRP I think it's like $250, but you can find it at Amazon, or I go to my guys over at Tripp and Company Jewelers over in Dawsonville. I just say, Tripp, what's your best price? And he gives it to me. Not giving me anything special. They do deal under MSRP, but there you go. $195. So what is it? It's this. Now it's this. Now it's not upside down. What is it specifically? This is from their Essentials line. And it is the SUR. So Sam, U as in UFO, R is in ready. I don't know, whatever. I don't know all that. Alpha, Beta, Charlie. No, some of them, but I never get that far down the list. So R is whatever R is. And it's the SUR525. They come in a couple different colors. I'll put a link up in the description. And what is it? Well, according to Seiko, from the Essentials collection, an updated classic, this sleek and versatile watch offers a clean, modern sunray dial. Indeed it does. With simple stick indices and date calendar. In a new blue color inspired by the richest of water. Yeah, I can kind of see that. Crafted of stainless steel with a sapphire crystal. Screw down case back and tri-fold push button clasp. It is also 10 bar or 100 meter water resistant. So you can wear it in the shower, maybe a quick dip in the pool, that kind of stuff. Don't go scuba diving with it. Don't be a muppet. It is not a screw down crown. What it is a 40.2 millimeter watch. It's a very svelte 8.25 millimeters. Lug to lug, 47. Stainless steel case, stainless steel, and they appear to be solid links. We'll get into the bracelet in a minute. It's actually pretty nice. 10 bar, which is 100 meters. Here in the States, that's 330 feet. They're calling it blue, but it's a very interesting, it's not quite Tiffany blue, but it's between Tiffany and aqua. And the lug width is 20 millimeter. I have 7.3 inch circumference wrists. I had to remove 3 links, and that has it just right. You do have a micro adjust. It's right there. There it is. You got a micro adjust. I have it in the loosest position, so I could go a scooch tighter. It did not have any half links, but you got almost half a link of movement with the micro adjust. So in my case, for a 7.3-inch wrist, it was perfect. It is very light. They don't give the weight here, but because it's so light, even if it's a little loose, it doesn't tend to flop around like a big watch might. So let's go over what we like, what we don't like, and give you some macro shots of it now that we've covered the specs. Oh, the movement, this is quartz. So it's not an automatic movement. I've got 3 examples now of Seiko. I have had other Seikos, but I did sell them just to make room for other things. Let me wipe off the fingerprint. You know what? I always make fun of videos where people are reviewing like a $30 Casio and they have these white gloves on to do it. And I'm like, dude, you don't have a $30,000 Daytona. Like, stop trying to look fancy like a poser. But then I realized it's keeping all the goddamn fingerprints off while they're doing the video, and they don't have to sit there and keep wiping it down like I do. So what the hell do I know? Maybe they know something I don't. So if I've ever bitched at your videos about using stupid white gloves for, that probably cost more than the stupid watch, yeah, I might have to take that back, because I do see a value of it when you're videoing it to not have to keep wiping off all the fingerprints. So my bad. So we got quartz here. Let's compare it to the other Seikos that I've got. Size-wise, this I think is like 42.3, although it doesn't really look much smaller. And that's because the dial is much smaller because it has this tachometer bezel. Same thing if we move over to my GMT, which I believe also is like a 42.3 or 42.5, somewhere in that range, 42-ish. And that is, although this light might not be picking it up, this is an automatic. This is a solar quartz, so never need to change the battery. This is a GMT with an exhibition case back. And it does have, let's see, the GMT movement. It's automatic. And it's got a dark emerald, really deep emerald green dial. As soon as you get out in the sun, it's like, pow, green. And it's black on top and green on the bottom. Reminiscent of the Hulk, as they nicknamed one of the, I think the GMT Master 2, perhaps, from Rolex. So Seiko makes some really great watches. I think they're probably one of the kings of value, making really quality watches. But here's what's interesting about this. This is solar powered, and I think I paid like $4 and change for this. I paid $4 and change for this, right? I think maybe $405, I think I might have paid for that. Or maybe it was a little less. This one might have been $3 something. I'll have to go back and look at my other video. But you've got a GMT movement, but hard Lex crystal. It doesn't have sapphire. So it's like they cut corners in certain ways. I don't know that it makes a difference to you, but this is a $195 watch. It is quartz. It is a screw down back. Yeah, it's only 100-meter water resistant. So is that. I believe, that one's probably 100. These are all 100s. None of them are true like diving watches. So, but this one for $195 has sapphire crystal. And it's really clean and beautiful. And that dial, I'm telling you, when you get it out in the sun, let me take a flashlight and you can start to see like some of that blue, that deep aqua blue just starting to pop, and you get that sun dial, sun ray style. That is a freaking gorgeous watch on the wrist. Very clean, kind of like your everyday, EDC type watch. Simple, straight, 3 hands and a date. Quartz, change the battery every 3 or 4 years or whatever, and that's about it. I don't know if we got lume on this bad boy. Oh, we got some lume. I didn't think we were going to have lume. We got the lume. Don't know how great it is. Don't know how long it'll last. I'm not a lume guy. I'm typically not wearing my watch in the dark. I wear it until I go to sleep, and at that point, I've got my phone, not by the bed, in a wireless cradle, then turns it into basically an alarm clock. So if you're into lume, I don't know, it might be the last 25, 30 minutes, and you have to recharge it. Don't know. But it's a really nice looking watch. I love the bracelet. I'm looking to see if I see any seams. I believe these are solid links. Now, when you go to adjust this, these pins come out very easy. You can use the pin pusher. Down here in the bottom, they give you a little tool. The pins are easy enough to come out that you can push them out. It looks like a giant, longer version of a SIM card remover from SIM trays on your smartphone. And you're able to push them out. It's got the arrows on the underside. Doesn't take a lot of pressure. They pop out, And then you do have to, I found that they came out the end fairly easily, and then they kind of hooked when they're out about this far. And I had to use my Leatherman just to grab the end of it and just give it a tug to pop them loose. So they won't fall out. What will fall out if you're not careful is these do use collars or bushings. So it's not just a push pin, it's a pin with a collar that sits on the inner link. So if you have this on the table, make sure you put it down on like a microfiber or a towel so it doesn't hit and roll and on the floor and get lost in the carpet. Because if you do turn the watch this way, those collars will slide right out of the end, and then the pin won't have any friction when it goes in. And so, you know, if you lose a pin and, you know, you don't have any spares, you're not putting the bracelet back together. So do be careful with that, but they do pop out very easily. I use my normal pin pusher, but they actually down here with the memory card and the certificate of authenticity, they give you a little metal tool here and instructions on how to do it. So for $195, you've got stainless steel, sapphire crystal, you know, a decent, reliable Seiko quartz movement. It's super thin and sleek. And while, yeah, you get a pressed steel bracelet, it is a very nice click, feels secure, like it ain't gonna come undone. Didn't seem to pull any hairs or anything like that going on. You got a damn slight micro adjust. I like that this is small. You know, it would be nice to have more micro adjust, but then this does have to be longer to have room to put extra holes. But I do like that it's a bit smaller and less chunky and noticeable than, you know, this one right here. Now you could say, well, this one has a safety clasp and it's got more thing. Yeah, it just adds weight and it adds bulk. This keeps it, it's not as trim as a butterfly clasp, but it does trim it down a little bit. What I really like about this is the dial. There's a couple watches I have. I don't have anything in this price range with a dial that nice. I've got Bulova, I've got some other nice watches. I would say the closest one to just being attractive and just a cool shade would be my Suyosa, whatever, this one from Citizen. However, this one costs another $150, more on top of that. This one is an automatic, and the bracelet's nice, but honestly, I don't feel like it's any nicer. I mean, they're very comparable. The Suyosa is a great watch. This is a tremendous, if you want an automatic watch that has a sort of a basic, you know, Rolex Oyster Perpetual kind of vibe to it, awesome. They did manage to get 3 micro adjusts on theirs. But these you can pick up for around 3 something. So 3 1/4, I don't know, something like that. Really nice watch, but look at that dial. And this is maybe not as brilliant. This almost has more metallic, but I'm telling you, like, this is just a really cool blue. Really hoping the video picks it up. They never seem to. When I'm looking at them in the sun and then I watch the video, I'm like, it's not conveying the same thing. But I like dials. I didn't bother grabbing all my other cool dials. I've got my Cuervo y Sobrinos. That's just, you know, you could buy, let's see, 5,000 divided by 200. You could buy, what, 100 of those or something? Or yes, I don't know. You could buy a shit ton of those. Well, 5 of these for 1,000 times 5, it's 25 of those. You could buy 25 of these for one of the other ones. So I didn't feel like that was a fair comparison. But, you know, looking at some of the Citizens and things like that, I think this is nice. I don't hear a lot of people talking about these. I feel like they just kind of sit in the background and they get overshadowed by speed timers and prospects and their Presage and some of their other lines. But if you just want a good Seiko Japanese watch with a solid steel bracelet and a cool dial, like, why wouldn't you pick that for $200? It was like, what was it with tax? Like $204 or something like that out the door. That is awesome. That's down in Orient range. I mean, that's really inexpensive. I feel like anybody that wants a decent watch that's everyday, cash, kind of dressy, you could dress this up or down to a point. You know, you're not going to get it totally casual like a G-Shock, a plastic G-Shock. And it's obviously not going to be like an Omega or something that, you know, or a really nice Hamilton, dress watch. It's not going to go for either of those extremes, like out working in the garden, getting muddy, or mountain biking. And the other end of the spectrum is going to be, you know, you're in a tux at a wedding. Okay. It won't maybe fit those extremes, but kind of for the, you know, here's your extreme, and it's like 10%, 10%. Well, the 80% in the middle, I feel like this is a really good choice, especially for the money. If you don't want to spend a ton of money, if you had like a $200 budget, but you wanted a decent watch that had, decent, adequate water resistance, and if you don't mind it being quartz, which I don't, quartz is more accurate. It's easier to change a battery, and every 5-8 years, you don't have to take it in to have it dismantled and serviced for $150 or $200, which is the cost of the watch. You just throw a battery in it every few years. Maybe you get 15, 20 years out of it before it starts losing time. Take care of it, and I think it'll last. So there you have it. The SUR SUR525 from Seiko. Absolutely gorgeous, absolutely affordable. A lot of watches in that price range, they use hollow links, and they cut some corners somewhere. And the water resistance is only 3 or 5 atmospheres. It's like, it's 100. It's sapphire. It's solid stainless links. It's a really nice dial. I think this is one of the best bangs for the buck out there right now if you want to buy a Seiko. So we'll do a couple of quick, slow macro shots so you can really kind of zoom in and see it. The side. Crown is just plain. I'm fine with that. At this price point, it doesn't have to be flashy. It just has to look clean, elegant, classy, and well made. And it is. It's very well finished. Everything's polished nice. Things line up right. There's no dings or scratches in it yet. Those will be from me. And the bracelet's really nice. It's comfortable. That's a cool watch. I would strongly suggest one of these. Anyway, that's what we got for today. Hope you enjoyed. If not, I don't know what to tell you.